Welcome back, guys. We are going to be talking about something that I honestly did not think we were going to be talking about on the channel. I want to go ahead and talk about this. We are going to be talking about Buffy the Vampire Slayer Slayers, a Buffy-Verse story. Now, this you can listen to on Audible only, but I am praying with as good as this was to hopefully not only continue this story, but we get more out of it, because this not only makes me happy as a Buffy fan, this makes me happy as a fan in general, because the story was originally created by Amber Benson, who played as Tara McCall in Buffy the Vampire Slayer. And they bring back so many characters in this, man. I mean, we got Amber Benson, Charisma Carpenter reprising the role as Cordelia. We got, of course, Emma Clayfield playing as Anya and Anyanka. We got, of course, Anthony Stewart Head as Giles returning. We got Juliet Landra as Drusilla. James Marsters finally returning back as Spike the Vampire. This is over 8 hours long in 2 minutes. This is the intro and, of course, the credits. Now, I am not a big Audible fan, guys. I'm just going to tell you this now. I'm not a whole lot on Audible, but when I first heard about this, there was a big smile on my face, and I was like, you know what? I'm going to get Audible. That is how much of a Buffy fan I am. I wanted to get Audible because not only of how I would say much of a loyal fan I am, but how much I love this series, and I just wanted to have a good time with this story. So we do have them talking as their characters. So the entire basis of this story is you have Spike. This is like however many years after Angel, which is kind of weird because we don't. I would assume, I don't know if this is canon or non-canon, because you would think after the ending of 5, and this is, of course, if you're, I've not kept up with the comics, so I'm going to exclude that. So I'm not sure exactly how they're going to place the timeline here. Now, Spike and Clem are in a bar. Spike is undercover, working with amongst very many Slayers to try to go up against other demons. When this happens, he comes across a very new Slayer by the name of Indira, who just became a potential earlier this morning, and she knows about Spike, she knows about the Scooby Gang, and she pretty much follows him around, wants him to be her new mentor, and he's like, no, I don't do that. He tries to pass her off to, Giles, but he is in England, and then he tries to pass her off to other ones. That does not work. Now, what happens is he goes through trying to find someone to work, because he's got this job. He's trying to protect other Slayers, try to help, but again, he's undercover, so he doesn't want everyone to reveal that he's still on the side of good, that he only did that because of Buffy, and he, had his brain messed with, because that was the whole reason why he was with her. That is what he keeps saying. Now, overall, I will say it was good hearing James Marsters return as Spike. But before we go any further, a round of applause for this cast, man. It amazes me of how good this came out, because the entirety of when everyone's talking, and again, if you are a Buffy fan, if you have watched Buffy as many times as I have or more, or you've read all the comics, you've read the books, you've done this, you've done that, you're going to know how these characters are going to talk, walk, act, facial expressions, the whole 9 yards. You're going to visualize it in your head because you know how these characters act, right? Like, for example, with Spike, I already know how more than likely he's going to come across, how he's going to fight, because again, he's literally my favorite character within Buffy. And then what's crazy is we see another Slayer come in, which is Cordelia. Cordelia, this version of Cordelia Chase, is another Slayer from another timeline where Giles trained her. He died. Tara got a hold of a of a book by, I think it was Turkin or something like that, where he takes over her and she's helping Drusilla, because in this world Drusilla lost Spike. She's queen of the vampires, or considers herself queen of the vampires, and her and Tara are wanting to work on a spell to where all vampires can walk in the sun. Now, Cordelia has tried very many times to try to help, with the help of Anya, who is a friend, and they need help. So this is when they're like, okay, let's go to another version of the timeline, and they find out Spike has a soul. They recruit him, and Dara comes along, and that's when they also try to get the help of Giles and Clem, who Clem is Spike's demon friend, sidekick type deal, and they go on this journey to fight against demons, vampires, and witches, and all this other kind of stuff, which is really crazy. Now, we also do hear of the version of Anyanka, the version that was with Anya in our Buffy timeline, to where we got to see Anyanka return and wanting to reunite with another version of Anya, because she does not feel the pleasure and the happiness of torturing men, because again, her being a vengeance demon. So she was not able to do that. That was her ultimate goal. In this version, Anya became a witch after Tara taught her. So we go back to different versions where Tara, the evil Tara, she's being controlled by something else, which she does not realize until later on in the story. And the good Tara is still like in remnants of trying to get out. And Drusilla is, of course, I would say more, what's the word I'm looking for? More striving. She's more striving to do more evil. She's striving to do more with her life, and to where her and Spike came up with the idea of walking in the sun. Now, again, apparently Cordelia killed this version of Spike by taking off his head. And what happens is, when Spike and everyone finally get over there, they try to go ahead, and Spike tries to act like he's that version of Spike, and we even get to bring up the gem of Amara. We even find out that the one Jonathan, who was the nerd and whatever in our Buffy timeline, he's a ghost in this timeline, and then also among many other characters. Now, the way they do the story was amazing, because Spike did such a good job of not only tricking Drew, but then later informs her he's not the same Spike. He tries to get seduced by her. He actually holds off, and I will say that. Especially with everything that we know Spike's been through. That was amazing. And then seeing Giles return, because now I guess he's married now. He has another magic box in England, and returning to the magic box in Sunnydale, where he knows is blown up, and he has a portal there to go someplace else just in case that happens. And they even go to a magic box in the other version of Buffy, that other world that Cordelia and Anya are from. And Cordelia, man, I'm gonna tell you this right now, guys. Charisma Carpenter did such a magnificent job at portraying as a Slayer in this version, because not only do we realize she lost her dad, she lost Giles, and she lost her sister. And the emotion that we hear in her voice after losing her sister pretty much brought me to tears. I mean, it was amazing of how good, you love these actors, you love these characters, and they're able to do that just by their voices, by portraying these characters, and these characters, you've watched them so many times. And it brings such a warmth feeling to my heart, because I'm so happy that we've gotten to see these characters return, because I never thought we'd see them return. I never thought we would see them actually return as these characters that we know and love and enjoy it. Hearing Cordelia become a Slayer, and how long she's been a Slayer, and she's been doing this on her own. And then also how Indira, she is a kid, she's still learning. She knows how to fight a little bit, but she's still learning, and she takes a liking to Cordelia. And then later Cordelia and her become friends, and then almost like sisters, because she tells Cordelia that she did lose her dad in Afghanistan, because her dad was military, and then her grandfather got custody of her. He got dementia, and She says one thing, but then she changes her story about where she lives with her grandfather, but unfortunately she got taken away by child services, and she's been in an orphanage. So by the end of the story, when everything's said and done, she wants to stay in Cordelia's world, and Cordelia gives her her blessing to where she can stay in this world. And I thought that was cool. And Cordelia kind of takes her under her wing. And it makes sense because there's so many potential slayers in this other world where they need more slayers because of what happened. Because by the end of it, they stop the big bad. Tara becomes human again, or regular again, I would say. Anya is able to stay Anya. Giles pretty much goes back in retirement, returns to his world after he has to be transported to the other one. And Spike and Clem decide to stay in that world as well to help Cordelia and Indira and Anya and Tara due to them winning, because Drusilla, she almost died, but she runs out into the sunlight after having this big showdown in the magic box, and you can hear everything, and then she goes down the sewer, and then she's gone, but she goes back to her headquarters, and all her minions are dead. But the way they end this was just amazing, and I'm praying we get a part 2, because they end this off with someone crazy in, I would say, a basement or whatever, and she opens it up, and it realizes she has kept Willow in this prison for so long, and she's going to use her. And it's like, oh my god, so there's another version of Willow that's a witch, and she is now captured, or has been captured, by Drusilla. So it makes me wonder, was there another version of Buffy there? Was there a version of Xander there? And then there's someone talking to Drusilla that she sired, and it turns out to be the version of Giles that was Cordelia's watcher in this world. So this is what makes it more of a twist. And that's how it ends. She even brings up, well, if I want to take over the world, maybe I'll just ask Angel. So are we going to be seeing, if this continues, will we see a version of Angel or Angelus? Did Angel ever gain his soul? Did he not gain his soul? Did he lose his soul? What exactly happened? What exactly occurred to where he had no choice but to continue to keep his soul or not keep his soul when he acquired it by the gypsies after he did what he did? So there's a lot of unknown questions. And Spike staying in this and wanting to still possibly become king of the vampires just to control that Rue over everyone, so that way it gets Drusilla very angry and he has the advantage over her, and Clem's going to help him. So it makes me wonder how exactly they're going to continue this, and will we get a part 2? I'm trying to sum this up guys, because there's a lot to discuss. And there's only so much time, I guess you say. But I'm going to tell you this. Juliet as Drusilla again, guys, I remember when I first started watching Buffy, she did such a magnificent job with this character, making her crazy, making her seductive, charming. Hats off to this lady, man. I mean, this woman did such a magnificent job portraying her once again. It made me feel like I could see what was going on in my mind. Same thing with James Marsters, same thing with Charisma Carpenter, same thing with Anthony Head, same thing with Emma Caulfield. They did such a great job. And I'm wondering, how can we get this to where we can visualize this? And I love having these characters return. I want a part 2. I want to see this in animated form. I don't have to see this in live action. Guys, we know, unfortunately, these actors and actresses are not getting any younger. And I'm not saying that disrespectfully. James Marsters himself has even stated Spike is supposed to stay the same. He's getting older, Spike is not. To where, age, you're going to look like you've aged. Charisma still looks gorgeous. Emma still looks gorgeous. Anthony Head, I'd love to see him return as Giles. At least give us an animated form of this story. Please give us an animated form of this story. I want to see these characters in animated form. You can still give us a good story. You can still use the same voice clips and put it into a show. You can put it on Hulu. Hell, you can put it on Netflix. and I guarantee you to be a hit. I guarantee you guys, you put something like this on one of these streaming apps, Buffy fans, like myself, will eat this up. I guarantee you we will eat this up. Why? Because it's Buffy the Vampire Slayer, but it's another version of a Slayer. Again, with the way that Buffy ended, with all the potentials, again, Buffy is Buffy. I love Buffy. I'll always love Buffy, but I like the idea of an alternate universe where there's other possibilities. They're doing that in a lot of stories now. Seeing Cordelia be a Slayer is a nice change of pace. Because Cordelia, she had another path in the version that we got. And that was okay. But again, it was always that what if scenario. What if she was a Slayer? And I like the idea of her being a Slayer. Because it makes her go into the shoes of Buffy and also Faith and among many others that, you know, she went through her own trials and tribulations, just like any of these other Slayers. And I like that. I like how we see her strong, but also vulnerable. I like that. I like seeing that. That would be amazing to get that version of Cordelia and Buffy in the same room. That would be amazing. But would it ever happen? I doubt it, but it would be amazing. And I didn't have an issue with Indira. I thought I possibly would, just because they were getting someone very, very young into the role, because I thought they were going to try to put some type of identity politics or something else in here. And they didn't really do that, and I was very happy with that. Keep Buffy, Buffy. Keep the same thing. Keep it witty. Keep it sarcastic. Keep it cool. Keep it action-packed. Keep it horror-wise. Keep it the way Buffy is supposed to be. Buffy can still continue with the original cast if you do it correctly and if you do it respectfully. So, overall, guys, a bow, hats off to these men and women that were able to provide this. A big thank you to Amber Benson and the other writer that we got from this as well. I mean, again, I did not think we were ever going to get this. I never thought in a million years we were going to be seeing them return because of Christopher Golden and Amber Benson. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Continue this story, please. Continue this story. I want more. I know other people want more. We need more. Buffy fans, I feel like we have been starving. And now we're finally getting food. And that's what I want. I want to continue this story. Guys, I'm going to be making more videos about this. I'm going to make a video about it. Hopefully, maybe you can get it animated or what part 2 is going to bring. It may not be as long as this one. I hope this is a good review for you guys. Go check out Buffy the Vampire Slayer, Slayers, a Buffy story, alternate universe. It is worth it. I created an Audible account for this story. I do not regret it. I'm probably going to check out other books when I can, but this was the main reason why I got Audible. So if you guys want to check out Audible, go check it out. It is worth it. It won't take you long if you have time in your day, whether you're working out, whether you're cleaning, working if you can handle both, go ahead and try to listen to it. I was able to listen to this while I was working. I do a lot of driving for my job, so I was able to listen to this, and it passed a lot of time, and it helped. So let me know what you guys think about this down in the comments down below. It's a little bit different. Again, I'm going to make a couple more videos about this. Because, again, if you guys don't realize, I'm a very big Buffy the Vampire Slayer fan. I've been a big fan of that universe for a long time. I love the characters. I love the lore. I love the world building of it. I want more. So let me know what you guys think about this down in the comments. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you as always on the next one.